Living in Ghana, abroad, a first-timer visiting Ghana, or a company wondering where to get quality service providers in Ghana for any job, then adwumapa on-demand services is here to assist you. Adwumapa on-demand services connect requesters and service providers such as masons, plumbers, electricians, auto repairers, home and office cleaners, trash collectors, rent agents, spa attendants, roofers, beauticians, teachers, CCTV installers, and all artisans on one platform. Yes, one platform. Trust adwumapa on-demand services to sort you out any day, anywhere, and at any time. To download the app, please visit the App Store and Play Store or visit our website www.adwumapa.com.
Oh, hello, people. My name is Kale Boss. The only boss. Oh, wait, what is? Have you heard? Wait, do you know that Taptap Send is live in Texas? Oh, you didn't know? We went to New York. Now we are live in Texas. So people in Texas and around, all you have to do is to download Taptap Send. Yes, Taptap Send has become the most unique, secure, and fast way of sending money across the world to your loved ones anywhere. Okay, so download Taptap Send on Google Play Store or App Store. And when you're in Texas or around, you just have to put in the code TXGH. What did I say? TXGH, and you get $10 for your first transaction you make. Mahama media, Texas, you drew very soon we'll conquer everywhere. Download Taptap Send now on Google Play and App Store. Taptap Send, it's secure, convenient, easy, and fast.
All right, guys. So for Mama call about SBTV Africa. So and then Friday, thank God it's Friday, 5:30 to 7 GMT. Mama call about SBTV Africa fans. Any new ones, I'm about joining here and we boy channel. So I'm making sure say over share link way. I'm on be na also have joining here. What questions be about bisa lawyer? When we say Fridays be on 5:30 to 7. Many lawyer wisdom akao. Wise man solicitors and I'm in program no. I just say the topic I be discussing very important. It is US ne other matters near there in 70 be banning for near there the fake US near there. In some be never be discuss it and our program no so to say what should be a comment section no bit me I drop it or question be obviously lawyer bit me abisa to make sure say over share page so you're live on Facebook SBTV Africa page and all live so a YouTube channel SBTV Africa, the voice of the community. FM DJ Nyame and I'm go straight to lawyer wisdom akaho encoding come on to make sure so be share link no I'm obi unuabi na ono so join obi wan go for bebre pass it through a lot you do pay amount for bebre with fake nyama bebre as you see how call online obi a say obi do how say we agent we say mebo my say mebo any we amount for cash sa nti the programs we see ba se na be ya obehu steps ne measures ne nyama obeya ebeboa ene nyama oya emboa nti hye ne so nti mame go street am ne lawyer wisdom akao wise man solicitors lawyer me mo akọ ababoko there o mic dey mute o your screen so
okay DJ
welcome lawyer wisdom akao.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good. DJ, I like your haircut.
You like my haircut, eh?
Very neat, man.
Oh, but I cut my I know the BSF will come on.
I'm not the D, I'm talking about the hair, not like me, Sakura.
Thank you, lawyer. Yeah, thank you, lawyer. I won't go trim self again. Now I the crop at the baba. Wise man solicitors. UK for and everybody UK come on. When say Fridays, we are in the bank. Lawyer, you see how the social media and also there. Who got TikTok ni idea? Who we say COS, COS. Yes, fake ones. You know, be banning for ni idea. And then you be measures. And then me who say COS we papa onye papa. COS in Kobe bisa say then you say certificate of sponsorship. Nti and no come on ever be there. And very, very important. See, lawyer, what be there? Over to you. And
Without DJ, and at your point now, so it will be as him. So last week, Lawyer Francis represented. So thank him. DJ, here now say there are different ways I the ever UK. Be a student, our visit, etc., etc. But there is an organization over UK, I friend of Migration Advisory Commission. Almost my government no advice as to categories of employment and sectors are almost here people to come and work in the UK. And known as almost two government nifusana, the government opens the chance and gives the option that people can come and work in the UK. And see, example, yenim say say because of Brexit, and because of the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, Nancy, a lot of employees left, particularly because of Brexit, and then a lot of people also passed. And now, Emma, a lot of gaps, a lot of space, ebeda the health sector also. And the government, upon the advice of MAC, in other words, the Migration Advisory Commission, will be a to us health workers, nurses, doctors, that is health workers, captioned by doctors, nurses, and other health workers. So let me have a UK about a It was on that basis that the government opened the chance for people to come and work. But you would need an employer and son of to me about Abayejuma. That is on the side. Yefe hono teachers and so omunya chance. Ye classes say so teachers that's a chance. So yes, there are some subjects areas there are teachers, there are not enough teachers. In other words, shortage. And see, upon the advice of again Mark, the government has given the option set teachers in science and some languages also bet me about shiradi ewo kromha. And also another aspect. And now recently, Amodia to also said construction workers. Again, na you for no na bebre construction workers ewo kromha. The builders, the tilers, the electricians, the dry liners, etc., etc. There were most of them were from EU. But UK fee EU no mononti, majority of them went back. And see, Abani said there's so much vacancy in the construction sector, and the sector is struggling because there's not enough. There are not enough employees. Again, based on the advice of Mark, government needs to the Abasa, people can come and work in the UK if you are a construction worker, either a mason, a tiler, a builder in any other section, electricians, etc., etc. But you would need an employer before you can come and work in that sector. So, what happened was that before you can come and work in the country, you need an employer. The employer must be licensed, must be a licensed sponsor, registered with the Home Office. Say you bet to me, ama obiaba ababa yejuma ewo krom ha. Licensed sponsor. The employer must be a licensed sponsor. And sana obetimi afa obi se omra ebe yejuma ewo krom ha. Say why a registered sponsor and sana obetimi ama bibi a friend COS. COS. So intiniayeti bebrebe nyina no ade a friend COS. Certificate of Sponsorship, which means the employer is able to employ from outside the UK to come to the UK to come and work, for people to come to the UK to work. And no, any your friend COS. Set employer no only license or you register with the Home Office, they cannot issue COS or they cannot obtain the COS to come for somebody to come and work in the UK. Wait, and now, based on the information we have, a lot of health workers have come to the UK to work. A lot of people have come to work in the UK from Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, the Philippines, and across the world. A lot of health workers are here. This is where we are having problems now. Yate said, there are people also out there who are taking advantage of the system. They are issuing fake COS. Fake COS. In other words, COS are any genuine. Certificate of sponsorship are any genuine. Omudi emankrofo se ombra emeye juma ewo UK ha. Based on that, Matisa Ebinomo ediaye application, and the applications were refused because the COS that was issued to them was fake, not genuine. And as long as it is not genuine, the Home Office would always conduct their own findings, their own search before they approve your application. Based on their findings, some people have been refused because the COS that they used to apply was found to be fake, and until they have been banned. So for most non-UK residents, it is necessary. Say you get a COS. It is not possible. So Obiaka say mama or letter, mama or employment letter, into Brabeye Juma, Wamrikwa, Nepano, Onye, Obia, or your registered sponsor to come and for registered sponsor with the Home Office for you to come and work in the UK. So unless the sponsor has a right or is registered with the Home Office, they cannot issue you with a COS. Now, if the COS is not genuine, your application will be refused. Your application will be refused. So therefore, if anybody gives you a letter or anybody gives you any letter or let's say letter of employment or anything of the sort, and it is for you applying for a visa to come to the UK, I am afraid your visa will be refused and you may be banned for 10 years if it is found that the COS is fake. Now, what you have to do is, first of all, you need to go to the government website and check if the sponsor is a registered sponsor. If the employer is a registered sponsor, do they have their name on the sponsorship license? Go online yourself and Google Register of Licensed Sponsors. Register of Licensed Sponsors. Check if their name is on that register. If the name is not in the register, that is a number one indication for you to know that it is not genuine, it is fake. If the name of the employer is not on the register, that should tell you that the COS is fake. Now, sometimes people are so desperate to travel out of their country, be it Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Libya, Ghana, or any of the countries. The desperation gets to people. And you see on chassis campo ni yaman is COS. Now I quack chia sasike. Na ye the COS enye papa. Sometimes they change some numbers, change some alphabets, and then they end up giving that to you. Say, a COS, Saudi Baba Juma. Na would application and it will be refused. Obi Efremi some time ago from I think Dubai. Or say Ghana ni or Dubai. Opposite of Baba Juma Krom ha. Employer no money letter. Okay, let me say you should send that letter to me to assess whether it meets the standard of an employer's certificate of sponsorship. So when he sent it to me, it was just a caption, some short thing which says you have been given employment to come and work in the UK and your start date is so and so. You can therefore come. And so I called him back and said, this is not a genuine COS. Your application will be refused if you use this to make any application. Therefore, please don't. He wasn't happy with me, but I gave him the right advice because I went online and checked myself and saw that the sponsor was not on the register and therefore cannot meet the standard of a sponsor to come to the UK. So when or if anybody gives you a COS, please go online and check if the sponsor is on the register of licensed sponsors. That is one. You also have to check the name of the sponsor, the license number, the starting date. You have to be fully conscious of that. The job title, you have to know that. So I have got a sponsorship certificate here. I am going to go through the step requirements. What shows that it is a genuine sponsorship certificate? So bear with me. I will take you there. Then I will go through the steps with you, and you would know what is required or what shows it is a genuine certificate or it is not a genuine certificate. So, number one, if you have a sponsorship certificate, first of all, you have to check the certificate of sponsorship status. It has a sponsor license number. It has a sponsor license number. It starts with an alphabet. It can be K or Y or W or something, and then it is followed by a letter, then another letter, then an alphabet, another alphabet, another alphabet, a letter, an alphabet, and a letter. So it's a mixture of alphabets and letters. Now, so Obi Ekoji way, Nasa near SSA end with 6, or not any 5 amawa, would the application it will be refused. So after the sponsorship license number, the next one is the sponsor's name. The name of the sponsor will clearly come. It has to show XYZ Healthcare Limited. It has to show Kofi and Co Healthcare Limited. So the name of the sponsor will come. The next thing that has to show is the certificate number. So we have the sponsor's license number, and then we have the certificate number. These are two different numbers. So the sponsor license number comes, the sponsor name will come, and the certificate number will come. These are very important. Then the next thing is the current certificate status. It will show you that it has been assigned. After that, it has to go to the current status date. It has to show the current certificate status date. If it was issued the 1st of August, it will show. If it is issued the 20th of August, it will show. That will also come. Then the date it was assigned, the current certificate status will be there, and then the date it was assigned will also come. Very important. Then it will tell you the expiry date. It's normally 3 months. So if it is, example, 15th of August 2023, it will take you to maybe the 14th of November 2023. So you have the whole of August, September, October, and then November. So it's normally within 3 months. So 15th of August to maybe the 14th of November. So September, October, November, 3 months. Very important. If it is more than 3 months, that tells you that there is a problem. And if it is less than 3 months, that also tells you that there is a question for you to check if it is a genuine COS or not. From there, it gives you whether the sponsorship has been withdrawn or not. If it is withdrawn, it will tell you. If it is not withdrawn, it would also tell you that the sponsorship certificate has not been withdrawn. Then you go to the personal information section. The first one we have talked about is the tier and category. Is the tier is skilled worker graduate scheme tier 4 or tier 2 or something. It will tell you that. And then we come to the certificate of sponsorship status. Is the what? Those are the things I've just gone through. Then it gives you the personal information. So every genuine COS will have these categories: the family name of the applicant, of the assignee, the given names of the assignee. If they have other names, middle names, it will also come. Your nationality: if you're a Nigerian, it will show Nigerian. If you're a Ghanaian, it will show Ghanaian. And then it will show the country of birth. If you were born in the US of A, it will show you were born in the United States of America. If it shows that you were born in Ghana, that is where your what is in your passport to show where you were born, and that will show on the certificate as well. If you were born in South Africa, that is what will show on the certificate. So if you were born in Ghana and somebody gives you a certificate which says you were born in Togo, that clearly should tell you that it's a fake certificate. Or if they put there that you were born in the United States of America or in Zimbabwe or in Kenya, that is a red flag for you to know that this is a fake certificate of sponsorship. So check and ensure that your details are correct, not fake or wrong. But the key one is to check from the section of what I've just gone through. Go to online first and check whether or not the details of the sponsor are online. Your status, the gender, whether it is male, female, must also be checked very well. And the country where you are living. If you are living in the United Kingdom, it has to state UK. If the person is in Ghana, the country of residence has to be Ghana. Very, very important. From there, you go to the passport or travel document details. So your passport number must come, the date of issue must come, the expiry date must come, and the place of issue of the passport must also show. So example, if you are in Ghana, your passport was issued, let's say the 13th of December 2013, and it's going to expire on the 12th of December 2023, then that clearly is a passport. You have to match it with what is on your passport: the issue date, the expiry date, the passport number, and where it was issued. Very, very important. And then you also have to show and check your current address. Your current address. So if your address is in the UK, it has to indicate your UK address. If the person is in Ghana, then it has to indicate the Ghana address where you are living. If it's in the UK, you must have the full address: London or Birmingham or Coventry, and the postcode as well, and the country must also show. From there, we go to your UK ID. If you have a UK ID, maybe you have an NI, it will show. You have to put the NI there. If you have any other sort of ID that the employer wants to know, they also have to put that there as well. Very, very important. And then the COS will indicate when you will have to start the work, the start date. Example, 13th September 2023. and when it will end, maybe the 12th of August 2028. That is 5 years. Or sometimes it is 2 years, and other times it may be only 3 years. So it's either 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. And this will indicate if you meet the standard. From there, it has to indicate or show the number of hours you have to do in a week. Your number of weekly hours, it has to show the number of hours you have to do in a week. Usually it will range from 37.5 hours, or maybe a little beyond that, or maybe just 1 or 2 hours below that. That also indicates the hours that you have to do. From there, you go to the main work address in the UK where you have to, where you'll be working. So if it is in the UK, if it's in London, it has to show where in London it is. Is it going to be at Barking? Is it going to be in Dalston? Is it going to be in Ilford? Is it going to be at where? Where do you call it? Is it at New Cross? Is it Camberwell? It has to indicate. So if I were you, if I get that COA, I will straight away go online and Google to see if that address that is on the COA, the COS, is a correct UK address where I will be working. So you can check that also to know if it is a genuine address in the UK and if the postcode is actually correct. From there, you have to go to the migrant's employment details, the job title. Is he a carer? Is he a senior carer? Etc. etc. And it has to talk of the job type. It has to give the code, the job type, the code. Maybe 51 something or 6123 or something. The code has to correspond. And then it gives you the job specifications or details. So maybe senior care worker, a salary of maybe 23,000, 27,000, 25,000. It has to stay there per year. And it will indicate that is 7.5 hours per week. The care worker would work under the skilled worker visa with an assigned COS, and it will specify what you are supposed to do to improve the health or to monitor the health of XYZ patients, to provide leadership to the care staff within this section, because maybe you are a senior care worker, you're more of providing leadership and guidance and direction or monitoring or supervising. It has to state what you will do. So these will indicate your job description. It indicates your job description. With that, you are able to then clearly show that, yes, of course, you've been assigned a role to perform. From there, the next thing you have to show that the COA has new entrant. If you are a new entrant, it will be no. If you are not a new entrant, it will be, if you are a new entrant, it will be yes. Gross annual salary, it has to state maybe 24,000 or 25,000 or 27,000. It's to state how much you earn a year. And then gross salary in pound sterling. If they go and state the salary in dollars, that clearly is an indication to you that it is not a genuine COS. So you have to check that the salary is stated in pound sterling. Skilled worker only, including any allowances and guaranteed bonuses. All other routes, including any allowance and guaranteed bonuses, must be included for each. So it has to state for every year what you'll be earning. Now it goes on to say a summary of your contract. Now it gives you a summary of your contract. Now, set a genuine, it will contain all of this. If it is not genuine, of course, the employer, fake employer, would of course doctor and put in certain things which shouldn't be there. And that is why you have to conduct your own search and ensure that and ensure that the certificate that you've been issued is genuine. So let me just read a contract, a current contract summary is the main terms and conditions of your employment or duty as a healthcare provider in the UK, the post you've been given with effect from your start date are to set out in the are set out in the statement. You are to work as a healthcare provider, giving services or giving the requisite notice as set out in the paragraph so and so. So it sets out what you have to do. Again, you may be subject to a probationary period. It also says is there. So all this will be stated in your COS. Then they'll say, is the job on the current shortage occupation list? Yes. If it is not on the shortage occupation list, then you may not be able to qualify to come to the UK. Then it goes to say, take to certify maintenance for migrants and dependents if applicable. If it is yes, it will be say yes. If it is no, it will click no. If it is yes, it will tick Y. If it is no, it will tick N. Does the worker require an academic technology approval scheme ATAS certificate for this job? Normally it is no. For health workers, it is normally no. Then from there, it goes to the migrants payment. It's going to be PAYE. That is going to be PAYE means you are on pay as you earn. You will be issued pay slips, and the pay will have to reflect in your bank account. So that is an indication of what the COS will show. Then from there, it says PAYE supply, yes. PAYE reference number, it also will be supplied. Migrant employment. So the migrants employment, do you have a master's, do you have a PhD, or whatever it is the PhD level qualification required for the post? No, normally it doesn't say it's for PhD holders. So generally, a valid and a correct COS will have the details I have just taken my time to go through. If it is genuine, it will clearly show all of this. If it is not genuine, then it will have this information, but the details will be doctored, the details will be tampered with. Something that is ending with 5 will be ending with 6. If a genuine one is ending with 8, the fake one will be ending with 7. If a genuine one is ending with 4, the fake one will be ending with 8. They will change some numbers just to say or to give to you to lure you into making an application. Then they send you these fake documents. You apply. The Home Office will by all means conduct their check. And when they see, or if they see that the document you provided is not genuine, you will be banned. Your application will be refused, and you'll be banned for 10 years. So the burden is on you. The burden is on you, the person who wants to come to work in the UK, to ensure that the certificate of sponsorship is genuine. And I have already said, how do you check if it is genuine? Please go online. Don't let people do everything for you. Don't delegate the responsibility to other people all the time. There are certain things you can do yourself. Just go online. Go to Google. We do other things on Google. If this has to do with your employment, go to Google, enter register of licensed sponsors. Register of licensed sponsors, and check if that employer's name is on the list of employers. If it is not on the list, that should tell you that the certificate is fake. Don't use it for an application, it will be refused. You will be banned for 10 years. So, that is for your information. Go to the official UK government website, fill out the UK visa application form online. You can even do 1 or 2 stages yourself. And if it is genuine, it will count. You yourself just go online. Sometimes we want people to do everything for us, and that is where, and sometimes we get into too much problems. There are certain basic things you can try yourself. The first 2 pages will come out with the employer's details. Go to apply for health and care visa, put in your details. Go to the first stage, the second stage, put in the COS number, put in the sponsorship certificate number. If it is genuine, it will automatically bring the sponsor's name. You do not have to enter the sponsor's name. If it is genuine, once you enter the details, it will automatically bring up the sponsor's name. Please, these are things you can do for yourself to save yourself from being banned for 10 years from coming to the UK. So, check, check, check. Go to the sponsors license register employers section, check it. Register of licensed sponsors, check it. Go to the UK official site online, check it. See if the COS number you've been given is mixed up with numbers and alphabets. Check it by first checking your own on your own by your own self online. Also, you can go online, Google, and find the name of the sponsor. If I were you, if the sponsor is genuine, they will have an office address, they will have a telephone number. I will take that number and call. Even if I'm in Ghana, I will call that number to find out if it is genuine. After you've done all your checks, please just make a phone call. If the number is not going through, that is an indication for you that it is not probably genuine. It is not probably genuine, or it is probably not genuine. So, therefore, you caution yourself before you proceed. If you do all your checks and you realize that this document is not genuine, please do not apply, because if you apply, it will be refused and you'll be banned for 10 years. You'll be banned for 10 years. So, please do the checks yourself. Do the checks yourself. Do the checks yourself. I have said it 3 times because it is serious and a lot of people are having problems. Be cautious. There are scammers, sham people who want to take your money because they know people are desperate to travel abroad, and therefore they will take your money and give you a fake certificate of sponsorship. Please check it and ensure all the documents, all the details are genuine, are correct before you submit any application. Whether it is for health and care workers, or it is for coming as a teacher, as a doctor, as a nurse, or as a construction worker, whatever category you are coming in, please ensure you conduct your own basic checks before you submit your application. Otherwise, you are exposing yourself to refusal and to be banned from coming to the UK to work for 10 years. So, DJ, these are the steps that are required to be gone for one to go through before they apply. Otherwise, like I said, you'll be banned from coming to the UK for 10 years. DJ,
Minka.
yes, thank you.
On to Minka.
I think I'm a two.
Aha. Okay, it's not make us say, yeah, that's say, oh, this, I try to be every Fridays, be make us make us a program we, chino, at least, you know, fair idea, and ways and means, and I say, kwan on befaso, sana be ya, yenko bandi o money ade, nti wacheche mu, yate ase, na, yen shadow. Nancy Cross, I fake way okay. What is all my guidelines? You say, most important, and say, who sponsorship near there, see a home office for one site.
Yes.
Near check registered companies, no. But every more how preparing Obi can be chena. Oh, Charlie, oh, you don't. I'll be amount fast. Now, 10 years, UK bandy and 10 years. Hey!
Yes.
And yet, but then, you're banning me 10 years, I affecting me other countries, and I mean, besides, no answer. 7 him say, UK, ne, Canada, ne, US, ne, they almost share the same way. It's you're banning me 10 years for UK, but me affecting me so US and Canada.
Almost share data. And don't see, just like almost share information with regards to terrorism, genocide, and categories of things. They do share information. Now, sir, why your application to the UK and you have been refused? Now, I'm ban you for 10 years, sir. Hey, you another application to the USA. So, why your application to the USA? They would ask you whether you've been refused a visa for any country before. UK Canada Australia all this. You take yes. Now, if you take yes, they want to know the reason why you were banned or refused. Now, so what did Echo to her say? You were banned for using a fake document. If I am considering your application for the US, it tells me about your credibility. You are not a credible person. You are not a person who can be trusted. If you can use a fake document for an application for another country, what shows that what you are bringing on this occasion is genuine. So, yes, it would not be the deciding factor, but it can influence the decision that a caseworker would make when it comes to making a grant, giving a grant, or refusing an application. Now, if the person says or thinks that your credibility is at stake, or they can't trust you, a person of not a good character, that is why you use fake documents. They wouldn't tell you we are refusing you because the UK has refused you. They will look for another reason to refuse you. Meanwhile, the reason why they are refusing is embedded in the other reason for refusal. They can just tell you, you don't meet the requirements, you don't qualify for X, Y, Z, refuse you. But at the back of their mind, it is because, or probably because, of the fact that you've been refused a visa for one country for using a fake document.
And
So,
yeah, over kind of cry and some kind of cry.
So one kind of grandpa they can find out. And if they find out, and Ukra spoils your case because you have.
So but you because have, they will only find out Serbia and I'll be no check it. They only find out say be almost suspected be an answer then and I'll be an so much check and a system be a mobile being shame nana or finger a biometric and I'm gonna pop it up.
I mean, you put yourself in between a rock and a hard place in some of these decisions. Now, look at this. They say, no, algorithms. You see, artificial intelligence. Now, I'm saying, yeah, the date of birth, new free information via to swap. The whole thing just populates everywhere and gathers information for them. Now, I'm saying, I was watching the program the other day. Obia, Omuya Nizenia, Oya CNN presenter. Already news. She said she was not there. One Obianyani interview, but it was reading as though she was the exact person. So she came to say, this and this is what is going on, the fake news, the real person. So that the way technology is going now, they can just input your information and it will gather information from everywhere. That is why we need to be careful. They may do random checks. check it with you get through it. That may be fine. They may not check every single person, but you never know if yours is the one they'll pick and check. They may check. They may check everybody. They may not check everybody. It's entirely up to them and as to how they assess the applications before they make a decision. That is not to say Abia, what worry, who person call UK, US. What worry, I refuse you for UK. They say what worry, who can UK and we do US. Who can US and we do US. That doesn't mean by all means I'm gonna refuse you because the circumstance is different and every case is looked at on its own merit. So the fact that you've been refused for one country does not mean you will be refused for every other country, but it can affect the decision making process. DJ Mintu Nkao.
About Aba.
Yes, Abba.
Sorry, Mufancha, ma'am say, my mic back on my casa, my battery now running low. No, so I off. Then, my sir. Yeah, be check section. I'm questions in my crowd, and I'm okay with the lawyer. Can I mean check when free Salome Kweho, but move on questions in that way. Time as someone more share or YouTube. More question members and Mubisa lawyer. And in the next 40 minutes, they are gonna be here. Or question be our best Obisana, or maybe son out of the air kind topic, and ask or other question concerning BBFI UK, who UK, who I feel person question be our best Obisan be a comment section. In person, time Babes so Babes signing out. I feel now open all kind of questions near there. Yentaki Salome Kwedi and Ola.
Hello, Salome. I hope you're doing well. Yes, the question is how long will it take for one to do his or her biometric after making application to the Home Office? It depends. Now, the Home Office is now using three systems. One is for you to go and do your fingerprint. Then you have to book appointment and go and do it. The second one is they can use your biometric details which they already have on their system. In that case, they would only tell you to provide an IDV. IDV, in other words, you just come to the office or you go to your lawyer and they take a photo of you and upload it. We also call it selfie. So it is either the appointment for you to go there or reuse of your biometric or you do the IDV. You scan your face and send it to them. The other one, which has to do with EU nationals, is they can also ask you to book appointment, or the EU nationals or family members, they may just ask you not to come, but they will ask you to send your passport. When you send your passport and they verify, particularly or especially if they already have your biometrics, then you don't have to do it again. So, Ms. Coy, it is possible that in a case of a person, they may not go in person to do the biometrics. They can, or they may only be required to send their passport, which I do for most of my clients. If the Home Office says we should just send the passport, we send it. And then after a couple of weeks or so, sometimes it takes a little longer, they return the passport to us, and then the client comes for it. Then we wait for the decision to come. So that is what it is. It can be biometric, that can be booked depending on the appointment date. It can be the IDV, you scan your face and we send it to them, or it can be the one we call the selfie, which you have to send to the Home Office. You take a picture, you send it to your lawyer to ask if we are acting for you. In this case, then we send it to the Home Office to upload. Then they can then work on your application. Hello, Mr. Kufo, John Kufo Ejewa. I say, hi, lawyer, good evening. If I have 2.5 years parental BRP, and I want to switch to skilled worker visa. Will I go 5 years additional to my 2.5, or will I add 3 years before I get my permanent residence? Permanent. Now, if you are on 2.5 years, it's on the 10-year route. That is 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, and 2.5. That makes a total of 10 years. Now, if you switch, you start the 5 years from the scratch. You don't add it to what you've already done. So if you start the 2.5, after doing 2.5 years, technically you'll be doing 7.5 years, because you do 5 years on the 5-year route, which adds up to the 2.5 you've already done on the 10-year route. That makes it about a total of about 7.5 years. That is why I always advise my clients that as soon as you get the 2.5 years on the 10-year route, go and do your English language, work for some number of months, bring me the pay slips and the English language level A2. Provided you meet the other requirements, I will then switch you from the 10 years to the 5 years. I have done it for clients, and what they end up doing was to do just let's say maybe 7 months into the first 2.5 years, and then we switch them to 2.5 years. After that, another 2.5 years, making a total of 5 years, 7 months. Then they go for their indefinite leave to remain. You can also do it within 3 months if yours is marriage and your wife meets the financial requirement. You don't have to wait for 7 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. You can straight away switch to the 5-year route, and you end up saving yourself a lot of time. Don't wait until the 2.5 years finishes before you switch, in which case you'll be doing 7.5 years. It's waste of money and waste of time as well. So as soon as you can, provided you meet the other conditions, switch to the 5-year routes. Thank you. Okay, if you are on a skilled worker visa and you divorce your partner, how long does it take before you can marry another partner? There is no time limit. There is no time limit at all. Once you are free to marry, you can marry straight away. Example, I dealt with a situation or a hypothetical situation in another case. I dealt with one or two in one other case, but let me give a hypothetical situation here. Now, assuming Mr. A and Mrs. B arrived in the UK as a sponsor, a worker, and a dependent. Now, as soon as they came 8 months ago, and the man suspects that the woman is seeing somebody else, or the woman suspects that the man is having an illicit relationship, and they decide to go their separate ways. Now, remember, it's about 4 or 5 months ago, or it may be about 3 months ago, or even 2 months ago, when the one party started seeing the other party. So, if divorce takes another 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, and there is a divorce, remember that if this person is going to marry the other person who he was seeing clandestinely, remember the starting date of that relationship will be about 4, 5, 6 months ago. It's not like you divorced today, you met the person tomorrow, and you married the following day. The starting time maybe you met the person 5 months ago, you started going out, relationship started. That is what led to this marriage breaking down. And as a result of that, you have gone or continue with the relationship with this person, and you end up marrying. So there is no time limit. If you divorce today, you are free to enter into any other relationship, and that is shouldn't be a problem. Uh, but I would say you don't usually leave too much gap in between, because remember, the dependent is based on the sponsor. So if that relationship breaks down, it means that you don't have a lot of time to quickly apply for another visa in the UK if that happens to be the case. Yes?
Great, Dari. He says, "Hi, lawyer. Can I ask you any question about other countries?" No, this lawyer they do your UK, no other country. If you ask them any other country, you don't know.
I will not be able to give you any.
So please ask him about UK. Anything concerning UK, will answer you. Let me see next. This one says what? John Kufo.
Whoa. Thank you, lawyer. And my girlfriend is yet to go to the labor. So once the baby comes out, I will let you do everything for me. I will continue from there. All right. Thank you, Mr. Jokufo Ejewa. I'm more than happy to assist you, put together everything for you, and we use the law. The law is what it is. We would go by the law, and I'm sure you will be fine. Thank you very much.
Okay. Move from a question. There's a question be any or the lawyer. Now be any other candia. So be or best or candia. Be a new development. Be announced the latest update. We then they see what UK. Then they call so UK. Bet me a chip in there. They wrap it up.
Thank you, DJ. To be honest with you, this is the main thing I wanted to talk about today, and which we have. But Maka Asami, but I'll say it again because a idea kosupa, and now I can say we are dealing with not one, not two, not three cases of people who have come to the UK and have been detained because they never got their responses to the immigration officer right. Simple things are getting people into trouble. Simple things are leading to children's leave being cancelled. Simple things are leading to parents' visas being cancelled. Simple, very simple things. Very, very simple things. That is what is creating problems for people. I have said it over and over and over again, but I just think I will just mention it just a little bit again. The information you put on your application form when you applied, please have that information in mind. If you've been married before, please have that in mind. If you divorced, please let it be consistent with what you tell the immigration officer when you get to Heathrow. Because once you arrive, your application form is in front of them. They would ask you questions based on what you have provided. We are dealing with cases right now as I speak, people who are in detention, and we have to go through the process of applying for bail for them before they can be let out. Sometimes the problem we have is that nipa na wosi wo ba ba one ne ba ba tena no nso no yɛbisa no questions on kai information no. It is true that sometimes it is true that sometimes somebody's information or somebody's recollection of an event may be more detailed than another person's recollection. Normally, the women have better recollection of events than men. We are looking at the average. The women have more detailed recollection than the men do. But it does not mean that the man is lying or the woman is lying. The fact that one person gives more details than another does not mean that they are being dishonest. But it is essential when it comes to dates. When did you first marry? Even before that, when did you first meet? Where did you meet? Where did you meet? When did you meet? When did the relationship start? When did you decide to marry? When you decided to marry is different from when you married. So you must have these dates to hand. Of course, you must also know when you marry, the date of the marriage. It is very, very important. You must remember the date you married. You must remember the date of your marriage. You cannot say, I can't remember. The Home Office will not take it lightly, or the immigration officer will not just take it lightly when you say, I can't recall. You must know that. Do you have children? Do you have children is very important. Does your partner have children? Do you do you also have children? You need to know their names, their dates of birth. Very important. That is very, very key. And this is an area that the Home Office or the immigration officers are detaining people, refusing them to enter, canceling their visa, revoking their leave for them to go back home because of very, very, very simple questions that people are getting wrong. Somebody called me the other day and said, if they get it wrong and then you have to go to court, you make money. It's not about the money, it's about people's lives. You have to have the right information so that your visa, you can be allowed to come to the UK. If you get it wrong, you will be detained. Your visa will be cancelled, your leave may be cancelled, you'll be detained. We have to apply for what do you call it, bail for you. It costs you money, it causes you stress, it causes you headaches, which can be avoided if you get your information right. Very, very important. So please, this is going on and on and on. We keep saying this over and over and over again, but it still keeps going on. Please, 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 let us ensure that the information we provide is accurate. When you get here and they ask you, your information is accurate so that you can walk through without a problem or without any problems. A friend of mine came in the other day. As soon as he got to the airport, he got to the immigration officer. He asked him, hello, how are you? Welcome. What does your wife do? He gave the exact answer that was on the form. Before he finished his answers, before he finished answering the question, the man had stamped his passport for him, gave it to him, said welcome, and that was it. If you get the first question wrong, it leads to other questions. So I would plead with all of you to get your relationship questions right. Genuine relationships. So I don't see why you should have struggles or worries about not getting the details right. Otherwise, I can guarantee that you will be detained, and that causes a lot of difficulties for you. Another thing I want to talk about also is to do with children in Ghana. Children in Ghana. Some people have children here and they took them to Ghana. We have treated this topic before, but it is an issue that is coming up. People are making wrong applications. If you are a British citizen and your child was born after you became a British citizen, the child was born outside the UK, the child is automatically a British citizen. Do not go and make an application for the child to come as a visitor. It will be refused. Meanwhile, this child is a British citizen. If the child is a British citizen, you don't have to apply for visit visa for the child. They can apply for their British passport straight away. It takes time. It is a very, very difficult and sometimes lengthy application process, but eventually they will get their British passport and to be sent to them in Ghana. Once that is done, the child can come with their British passport. Don't go and waste £3,000 on an application which you should have spent zero on. Don't waste £3,000 on application that you should have spent, or maybe let's say 100 and something pounds on, rather than going to pay £3,000 or £1,610 for an application that should have cost you maybe £120 or 130 or £150 for that application. So please let us ensure we make the right applications. Now, if your child is a British citizen, you are British, you give birth to the child outside, the documents you will need, it's quite a lot of documents. So I would like to look at that maybe next week. If I happen to be online, I will look at the documents that you need one by one by one to make such an application, if that happens to be the topic that I'll look at next week. So, Mr. JY has come again. So, lawyer, if I get the English language level A2 and I want to switch from 10 years through to 5 years, will I pay the home office fee again? Yes, you will pay the home office fee again, and you will have to pay the IHS again. I am waiting for somebody to challenge the Home Office or to request for a refund of the monies that they've already paid. Example, so far nobody has given us the go ahead to do that, and we haven't done that yet. But I am just waiting for a client to give me the go ahead to challenge them or to ask for a refund. Example, if I was given 2.5 years and I had to pay £1,560 for 2.5 years for the IHS, and I have switched to another 2.5 years within 3 months. It means I am paying another 1,560 for another 2.5 years. Meanwhile, the first 2.5 years, I have done only 3 months. I still have 27 months. So I am paying twice for the same period. It will be a very good case to ask for a refund of the rest of the time that you made on the first 2.5 years. We haven't been instructed to do that yet, so we cannot voluntarily or out of our own volition do that. But I think that is an area that we can explore to ask for a refund. I believe it will come because you can't be made to pay for the same period twice. So that is what I think we have to be instructed at the point to do. But yes, you have to pay. You have to pay the IHS and for the Home Office application fee as well. As for the Home Office fee, they won't refund it, but the IHS, I think a good case can be made for you for them to refund it. Daniel Akufu, hello. What documents do I need to do my EU settled status? I am an EU family member. Settled status indicates that you are a family member of an EU national. You have been in the UK for some time, maybe 5 years. That's the threshold, 5 years in the UK as a family member. So, to get your settled status, you need to prove that you've lived in the UK for 5 years. You've lived in the UK for 5 years. So, if you've lived here for 5 years, you can use 5 years bank statements to show the period, or you can use 5P60s to show that you've been here for 5 years. Or you can also probably get a letter from your bank to indicate when you open the account and the fact that you've run your account up to when you're making the application. Sometimes you can also obtain documents from some other organizations. If you have maybe insurance, you can ask them to give you a letter to confirm when you started the insurance policy with them up to date. If it covers 5 years, yes. You can obtain your employment history from the HMRC to show that yes, you've worked for that period of time. So these are some of the documents you can use. Of course, you will need your passport. If yours is a marriage, then you need a marriage certificate as well. If it is as a dependent of your parents, then you need your parents' passport copy and their EU settlement scheme letter or their reference number as well. If yours is based on return right of residence, maybe after divorce, then certainly you would need your divorce certificate. You will need your ex-partner's proof of residence again, their EU settlement scheme if they have it, and if they will give it to you. Or if you need a copy of their passport as well. So these are some of the things you would need. If you're a child and your parent has left the UK and you've been here for 5 years, you want to apply based on that return right of residence, you need to prove that maybe you are in education, you need to show that as well. Or if you are a partner of a bereaved person, maybe your partner, your husband, or your wife passed away, and you are the spouse of the deceased person, of course, you would need the death certificate, proof that you were living together until they passed away, and the fact that you've also lived in the UK up until they passed away, a year or so before they passed away, and they have lived in the UK for at least 2 years before they passed away. So, yes, you can apply for uh, your settled status, but it depends on the category in which you are. That will determine the documents that you will need. But I have just given an overview of the kinds of documents you will require for a settled status application. It's a short question, but it is loaded with a lot of answers. Oh, hi, Gray. Gray. It says, please, about the UK Army, is it possible for me to apply whilst in Ghana? I not too sure, but I think you can. What you can do is go to the UK Army website. Like I always say, these days everything is online. Go to the UK Army, the official website, and I am sure you can register there, and it will help you go to the links. Probably you can email maybe the recruitment agency or the recruitment line to see if you can apply from outside the UK. I know somebody who applied from outside the UK. He came in, did his training, etc., etc., and today he is in the army. So yes, it is possible to do it, but you need to please contact them to know how to go about it. Yes, thank you.
Lawyer, comment we. Nipa no comment we me dey make the kind money.
I'll say I'd like to know when the home office will be at my job so I can call in sick that day. Make it make sense. This, thank you. You've given us a laugh. Thank you very much. This is almost an impossibility. Nobody can say when the home office will come to your job to check if you have papers or not. So just just hope they don't come. Why do you want to know that they will come? Just hope they don't come so that you can carry on working peacefully as long as you have the documentation to be in the UK. So please, please don't pray for that at all. It's not a good experience and you don't want to go through it. Please. All right?
Anyway, guys, Charlie. Say lawyer bibia ni obi ma and minja oy. Me try more questions na some you okay. Obi o hwe na bia no okay na omo ni bibia omo bibisa.
Some people have some very pertinent topics they want us to talk about regarding the UK. They can WhatsApp it to you or email it to you, or they should send it to you. Maybe that is an area of importance to them or to somebody that we can attack or address the areas. We don't want to just come and give lectures across board, but an area is of importance to somebody or to some people, they can always let you have it. I am more than happy to address it as long as it relates to the United Kingdom.
Okay.
We will
Obi sending me voice note to me. I mean, boy, say obetimi 80 or
DJ more happy. No money. No, how it's you, pa. It's you. That's it's a number program also. Church, me hope, man. Na problem ka se ba kwa mo sisi am pese bisa UK no na ne kasa no me se. Me oba bi dependent ni bi UK ni bi wana the school na kwa na me independent. Na in some na 2024 January 19 okay hese bit me bi tie na. But the school is delay ya September ending and now beginning of October na mo di we ni ba banza na yakọ you know. Na mpese me hu se ya be busa na na me ana no sɛ ɛbɛ effect bi ɛbɛtake bad effect bi anaasɛ nsunsuansobɔne bi bɛba a yɛhu deɛ yɛtua fees no ɛyɛ aka ɛyɛ nipa cars na yɛde kɔgye bɛsia nipa na yɛtwe no ɛno sɛ ɛyɛ madwendwe a mekenka ɛyɛ ne rules no deɛ na dan lɔya no ɛka no ɛyɛ madwendwe a nti mpakyɛ sɛ wobɛtumi aboa ma saa kwan no so a nyame nka ho program no yɛ fa ɛboa yɛ paa ɛkyerɛ yɛ kwan na meyɛni nso ada hɔ
All right.
Yes, all right. Thank you. Yes, the ban for dependents to come to the UK starts from January 2024. I think the last time I read it said applications or applicants who will come before then should be fined. So I'm one school deposit a cash now issue. I mean, said they will get it soon, and once it is issued, they should quickly put in the application. Once the start date would be way before January 20. Between now and then is quite a bit of time. Mijidi said he should get it, and then they can come to the UK for him to come and study. I wish him all the best. Seriously, I think I wish him all the best. I mean, listening to his voice, he sounds very genuine to me, and I hope that everything will go well with him so that he can come and join. He can come with his partner for them to be in the UK. And Obanswa, you should give me a call. I would like to. Yeah.
Okay. Utie dia so Obanswa no man call. Okay. Lawyer. Yeah. I think so. When you me about. So we mean there are two screens so now.
Also, can you make this okay? Can you make this clarification for me about the care worker visa? I heard if you do different work aside your skills, you won't be allowed to renew when your time is due. Well, what it is if you're working with your employer and you're also working in another skilled worker, the same category, then you shouldn't have a problem because some employers are not having enough hours for the employees. So if the employer, with their consent, you are working another, maybe you are working two care homes, then you shouldn't have too much of a problem. But if you leave the care industry, which is what you were given the sponsorship certificate for, and you go and work with an IT company, then clearly you are not doing what you are required to do. In that case, you can't renew your visa when it's time. You can't. But if it's the same industry, then you may be. But it is very essential to still do some work with your sponsor. Or if your sponsor hasn't got enough job, then you must as well look for another sponsor and then switch altogether to the new sponsor so that you don't get shortchanged when it comes to the renewal of your visa at the point of the expiry of your leave to be in the UK.
All right. Wise man solicitors. Yeah, that's it. Say ne onya abotre. Wachechere mu. Obetime the details na to ja. Ne phone numbers ne go screen so don. Office number ne personal number anti lawyer location no. London.
Yes.
Dawson Market then nyina bi enti McDonald's.
Be there say.
Print house. Print house. Yes, I'm printing this and print house.
The son will be but yeah, you want to go home office, no more printing. Yo, wise smart solicitors. Number 8 to 9, the print house. 8 to 9, the print house. 18 to 22, Ashwin Street. London, Dalston, E8 3DL. E8 3DL. Telephone numbers no yeah 0208 0165 384. 0208 0165 384. I don't need your mobile, I don't need the office number. The mobile number is 079 31 411 042. 079 31 411 042. I know any my mobile number. Now, I mean, say if anyone sending me some messages on WhatsApp, Ghana for no be sending me message. If been from Turkey, I've sent them. I haven't gone through it. So you can just send it again, then it will come to the top of the list so that I can respond to, because messages need dozen. A dozen, sometimes we miss some of them. And so you can just resend it again. It comes to the top and then I can respond to it. Sometimes people want full consultation, but whatever answers I can give you, as short answers as possible, I can help you, and then that will also help you to take it to the next stage as to what you have to do and where you have to contact, etc., etc. Yeah, well, Dalston Junction, behind the McDonald's. Dalston Junction, close to the Dalston Market. We are close to the Dalston Market, behind the McDonald's. DJ Nyame, only your office, our Baha, I think twice or three times. And to say, we ramp out, but me afraid DJ Nyame, or more direction. No,
Omunko Dawson Market. Omunko Dawson Market. Omunko bisa money matters.
But unya numbers now. Udu Dawson Market. Now bisa for McDonald's. Your McDonald's next sheet directly behind the McDonald's. And to do her, the numbers are them 0208 0165 384. Now Ufrayenga, Yabamawaba. Then we see to you or we attend to you. We are grateful, sir, and then so yeah, amana yeah. Next week, Yami Adumwa, DJ, give me or feed me with any information anybody wants me to talk about. I'll be more than happy to respond to this. Thank you, and I'm very grateful. Thank you all.
Oh, okay. Lawyer say, and they are most of person mo discuss it. Ebi ana bibi, potin bi wa mo person discuss it, but ebi ana yam boss so ye. It is also a topic bi ana say. Bibi also go through afi say mo person discuss ya person hu emu no kure na also betimi de aba nti say me de numbers ne de bia na kosa SBTV Africa just send me WhatsApp message na ya go through na ya pick a topic no one after the other, but say bia we new dia o de ko live no mini live wo page so ya bebre ko YouTube SBTV Africa ko live about some lawyer wisdom ya bebre bia na topic out be ban you treated that because you treated so many topics. See, you better na it one more. But about lawyer say me bom na home office back to me wo a na me fro a mo betimi ayi bia fa ho.
So where then?
Say me bo adwuma bia me ni nyama na me bo adwuma na home office abeche me a. Na me nim na me frɛ wise matter mo betimi ayi bia fa ebe no court na o meja me na.
Yes, abeko court bibisa no ebia amodi obeko, okay, maybe detention a honor yebe ye no a honor bail application, chief immigration officer's bail and a court bail, yebe back and forth reasons why you want to stay in the UK, etc., etc., etc. Now, with that, we will be able to get you out on some occasions. But I always say, so now you want to stay in the UK, it's always better to seek advice. At least, then that gives you the knowledge or the understanding of which way to go. Otherwise, you will have a lot of difficulties when it comes to when the Home Office gets involved. Um, try to avoid that. Try to avoid that. That is the best thing. Try to avoid getting into that sort of difficulties. Um, yeah.
I think so. I mean, so na maybe sa na say last week na maybe sa lawyer Francis but me ti bibi say and me say me na maybe sa ma me kai wiom yes mo be yes some Italy style ni bi mo be use some identification be code be from next year na no dey basa no dey am say lawyer Francis na maybe sa no and no bi wom sa yes mo be some code be say na be Italy ntumi for bi nyama nye adwuma those cantons no yes mo
Oh
be yes
yeah.
ade no.
Yes, the UK is now everything is becoming digitized. In other words, e-visa, electronic visa. Um, what it is that previously, sir obi ewo krom ha first. Unya visa ye di stamp NSC passport no mo. Ne ye di nsa atwerɛ so. Ɛna efi hɔ no na ɔmo de big net ayɛ te sɛ sticker bi ɛde si passport no mo. Efi hɔ no na ɔmo ba card, biometric card ɛte sɛ bank card no ɛde aba. Sɛsɛn no ɔmo yi card no efi system no mo. Nti obi a ɔwɔ asit na okrom ha yɛde ne card yɛde asit na ma no ɔmo de date na si 31st December 2024. Which means that all the cards are phasing out of the system from that date. The Home Office is now adopting electronic system code. They call it share code. Sɛ wopɛ sɛ wotu kwan a sɛsɛ a akwanto deɛ ne mmaayɛ. But sɛ wopɛ sɛ woyɛ adwuma a, you have to generate a share code. Na wode ama wo employer. Wode wo card no number bi wɔ so ɛne wo date of birth ɛbɛba so. Na wode ato so wobɛkɔ online na wayɛ to generate your right to work. Ɛno ɛbɛma wo saa code ɛno na wode bɛma employer no ansa na watumi ama wo adwuma. Why? Because employers, the Home Office says, so who employer will be a onia sitna, fine you. It used to be 20,000, now they want to fine you 45,000 pounds. Employer, why employer will be a onia sitna. If they implement the new system, you'll be fined 45,000 pounds. Usaya biomwa, they will fine you 60,000 pounds. 60,000 pounds. Now, no employer wants to pay that for an employee. Because of that, the Home Office or the employer will insist.
Lawyer, you better me go into details next week, Anna.
Yes, I think we'll treat the electronic system, how it's going to work next week.
Because
now,
I say a coin to serious because says I do the bar. Yeah, na bebre no mu remo mo de nkofo nyama ye adwuma ne ade nyina na be dane beans.
Very difficult, and I think let's do it for next week if I'm able to come. Hopefully, DJ, my main sanu topic UK changing to e-visas. E-visas, that is electronic visas. And its implications, implementation and implications too.
And you want to recall more money as a trano.
And see, DJ, Masani amount. Next week, Yami Adum Nase, we happen to be on this. I will look at the implications of the UK changing to e-visas. How are they going to implement it? When is it taking effect? And what are the implications for all citizens of the UK?
And as you see, I say, start in go free form one dream, Muslim started from one dream, assetna.
Yes.
Look sharp and son, as I go free. Yomudi baby, a baby baby, no, someone money, I say, oh, Italia, Italy, won't mean for Binyama Yejuma. Sana me metete Italy for na me no interview a omuka ndizango fo de nyama we ba untimi fo bi nyama nya adwuma wo juba de na UK also ni asita we da adwuma so if for start anya die minute if for start look sharp lawyer me da say nyame adoma next week e be kasa that so be pass it through SBTV Africa so they be out the brain Fridays be thank you guys for watching. The name is simply DJ Nyame. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, like, share to your friends. We have more videos on our channel. Charlie, you will learn a lot. I'll thank my production team, DJ Click, Sharon, and Tina. Charlie, let me read some those who dropped their comments today. I mean, Charlie, Mavis Amofa, you are late. But you say you want lawyer's number. I said, lawyer, they be a number that screen so. And I won't give this number. The number is in that screen. So thank you for joining. Salomon Kwe, thank you so much for joining. Mark Opoku Mensa, watching you straight. You say you're watching live from Oxford Street. Now it's my papa here down. Anu Mensa Street. Okay. John Kufwa Ejewa. Thank you so much for watching. Make it make sense. Big ups. Great Diary. Thank you so much, Daniel Akufo. Okay. Guys, thank you so much. John Enisa Bentum. Thank you so much for watching. Guys, I know say comments number be that means you be kind in your matter saying na more comments no endorse. Nyame adoma next week Friday 5:30 to 7. You be many wise smart solicitors. Yeah, the video be aba. Maybe I drop another one in the next 2-3 minutes. See videos in there. Video day. Punchlines by many evangelist Papa Bright. Oh, I may see a share. Heavy vibe. We are. Now I got to drop a comment. So as soon as many are branded back could be a young guy on a daily hustle GH. Many year online or Ghana here. See vibe, you know. You go pick plenty things for inside. You think of one in there. I'm by SBTV Africa. Yeah, pushy, yeah, educated. I had the anything to do with quicker na. I'm fashioning bro. We trending na we yeah. It must go to be cookie stories near young crofona and there's a moment Ghana for any pay. But the sensible ones will begin to learn. We go open doors for you. Can be brace you answer here. I want you to remember. But keka. Me they are not the watch. Me they want say so much SBTV Africa. Shamo Chroma can say tour. No magis to tour. So guys, tour. Macra mo.
What I like the most about Carline Auto Parts is that they don't just sell you an oil. They take their time to educate you on exactly what your car needs. And luckily, they told me about this amazing product for my car's transmission. Booster is the best transmission oil that you can find on the market. And take it from me. If you've ever had a transmission problem, you know exactly what it means to be in those shoes. So get the best product and save yourself the trouble. Call Carline Auto Parts here at East Legon. Call them at Dacoman and bro, get yours. My sister, get yours. Don't waste time. Carline Auto Parts, your car solution.